Hi, I'm Lorna. And I guess pre-story, I've always been pretty career-driven, pretty optimistic person. I'd like to think, kind of like the happy-go-lucky girl, bubbly, outgoing, loud. Very loud. And I love my job. I work in the entrepreneurship space. I work with startups and small businesses. Always, like to challenge myself. And the story began when I got a really good job and I had all the perks that anyone would ever wish for. Work from home, I had a good salary, benefits, all of that stuff. And I was super healthy. I was trim, I was exercising, I was doing all the right things. So you think, I'd be on top of the world. But what happened was actually working from home and working in isolation was just not my thing at all. And I just suddenly was working from my desk and would just have brain fog. I couldn't write emails, I couldn't pick up the phone, I couldn't go out to meetings, do all the things that I used to love to do and was really, really driven. I just stopped, and I would basically write an email a day and think, fuck, that was hard. It just, I didn't understand it at all. I thought, I've got anxiety, read about anxiety in the magazines, but didn't really know what it was. Went to my doctor, was like, I'm just really stressed, and they were like, oh, do this on medication, and you haven't tried exercise. I'm like, yes. And I brushed it off massively, and just kind of blamed it on the job. And I'm kind of someone I never do things in half measures. And I just one day I was just like, I'm going to quit my job. So I quit my job, and I thank my lucky stars that I have an amazing family network who could support me during that time. And I often think, God, if they weren't there, who knows where I would be. So I have a lot of respect. When I see people on the streets, I'm sure that mental health was that trigger point. Anyway, look, that's going off the story. I quit my job, and suddenly I just lost all of my identity, because my identity was around me being career driven and doing lots of stuff. And then I just started to completely question myself and was like, oh, okay, so maybe I don't like working in small business. Maybe I want to be a teacher. Maybe I want to be, I applied to be, I was looking at beauty courses and going back to school. And then I was like, I can be an air hostess. Honestly, just all these crazy stuff. Like literally just driving myself like crazy, thinking, there's got to be something else out there. I didn't know at that time that I was just so lost. I was completely empty inside, I'd lost my identity, and I was just completely broken. And it got so severe. When I say severe, I did not think there was a future for myself. I was so embarrassed. I thought everyone knew that I was depressed. And so I went home and I cocooned myself. And I did Sudoku every single day, and I was so bad. Honestly, I hear now from people that I've met who've had mental health problems that they find that thing, you can make pom-poms, or you can... Sudoku was my thing, and I still do it now, and I'm like, yes, I'm so good now. But at that time I had brain fog. Like I said, I had no memory, I was forgetting things. I remember thinking, today I'm going to give back to my parents because I was living at home. So I went to the supermarket and I was literally just walking around for hours, just not really knowing what I was doing. It was very, very, very strange. But I had a driver. My driver was, my brother was getting married that summer, so I had to kind of, help out and, be bridesmaid. And I also knew that I had a little niece on the way. And those two things really got me through that summer. It was terrifying, and I made it through. I'm still here. I did very odd things. My mom packed me off to work on a farm, and I remember doing like data entry, selling manure. Honestly, it was like the most bizarre thing. So like not kind of where I thought I would be at 28. Anyway, and I then came back to London, thought I'd got my strength back, and did 2 days in a job and crashed and burned again. And that was, sorry, when I said that was rock bottom before, that was rock bottom. I managed to get home, knocked on my doctor's door, and got escalated through the kind of NHS system, because some of you might know the very, very long wait list. And it's a shame that I was that severe that I then got through the door, whereas if it happened a couple of months before then, maybe I would have seen that doctor prior to that. And I saw a counsellor, and it was the first time, I think, ever that I actually just sat in a room and just spoke about myself. You know, we're so busy as people, we're focusing on your day job, or you know what your friend's doing, or your friend's breakup, which is great, but what about that time like for yourself? So I just sat there, and it was like my best time of the week. Her name was Ashley, and I remember her because she was my guardian angel that summer. And yeah, I just spoke about myself and just learned loads about myself that I just never realised before. And slowly, surely, my confidence grew. And still very embarrassed, for everyone was aware that I was depressed and yeah, not living in London. And I went onto my LinkedIn and was like, I'm just going to update my job title because I didn't want there to be a void, and I just put freelance kind of marketing and event producer or something like that. And next thing I knew, people started contacting me, and I was just like, this is crazy. Like, me, the person who can't write an email or pick up a phone, like, I don't really understand. And it was that then brought me back to London. I became self-employed and did a little bit of freelancing. I didn't work every day. I worked maybe 2 or 3 days a week. And slowly I was like, what am I doing? Like, this is my thing. It just slowly came back, and I just became kind of like myself again. And what else do I want to say? Yeah, so that was kind of like late last year. And I think since then, I guess what I want to say is I have learned so much about myself and other people. I think my empathy for people in life has gone from here to here. During that period of depression, and I would just walk around thinking, oh my God, everyone can just see exactly what's going on inside, but you can't have a mental illness. I didn't have a sling, I didn't, I was just sad, very, very sad inside. And I think my biggest kind of like learning from that experience is just be kind, because you just don't know what people are going through. Like, someone would lock me in the street during a time when I was low, and I would literally just want to cry because it hurt so much. Or then someone would open the door to me, and it just meant like the world to me. And so I think that's something now that I think I'm a little bit more mindful. You hear that word a lot. I have certainly become more mindful. One thing that I did when I came back was I started meditating. I did a course with Will Williams. I don't know if anyone's heard of them, but I'd highly recommend it. Amazing Vedic meditation course. And I just finally just got like clarity in my head, and I could just think properly, whereas before it was so foggy. I could just think more clearly and be more kind of pragmatic, whereas before I was like, my world is ending, and I just could not see through this dark fog. Anyone who's had depression will know what that dark fog looks and feels like. It's all absorbing. Since then, I have a little niece called Emma, and I yeah, she's my baby. She really, really was kind of my driver to just kind of keep going last year. And since then, I'm back doing my thing. I love my job to pieces, and I thank my friends so much because it's so important to talk, which is why I'm here today. Like, I want to shout about my story, and I don't give a shit what anyone thinks because it happened. It did. Like, it feels like a weird old dream or nightmare, but it happened, and it's really important that we talk about it because it's a real remedy for me. So thank you for this opportunity. I did my own kind of charity Valentine's party this year called Believe in Magic, and it's so cringe, but like I have become a bit of a like weird hippie since then because I do like believe that what happened in terms of my recovery was totally magical. So cringe, sorry. But yeah, I did not think that I would be back kind of on my game, and so thank you to all my friends, and yeah, if you know someone who's suffering, just be there for them, just listen. And I think I've said all the points that I wanted to say, so thank you.